Hey, turn your Bibles to Deuteronomy chapter 14. This chapter starts with food laws. All right, the Israelites had to abide by these food laws. And it begs the question, why was Israel forbidden to eat certain foods? Scholars say one possibility is that predatory animals ate the blood of other animals and scavengers ate dead animals. Because the people could not eat the blood of animals that they found dead, they couldn't eat animals that did those things either. The second reason is maybe that some forbidden animals had bad associations in the Israelite culture, sort of like we have with bats and snakes and spiders. Some people may have been some of those animals may have been used in pagan religious practices. However, I think the biggest reason for these restrictions was simply to separate Israel and remind them that they are a separate people committed to God. Now, while we're not under command to follow some of these specific food rules, we can still learn from them. For example, holiness is to be carried into all parts of life. We must pursue holiness in the everyday practical parts of our everyday lives. Health practices, finances, hobbies, all provide opportunities to put holy living into practice. Now look at verse 22. I want to draw your attention to verse 22. The Bible makes the purpose of tithing very clear here, to teach us to fear the Lord and to put Him first in our lives. We are to give God the best of what we earn. For example, what we do with our money shows what we value most. My bank statement is absolutely a reflection of what I value. Giving the first part of my paycheck to God immediately focuses my attention on Him. It also reminds us that everything we have belongs to Him. So I urge you, if you haven't made tithing a practice in your household, to take a step toward that today. I started tithing over 20 years ago, and I can testify that He will do more with your 90% than you can do with your 100%. Finally, let's look at verse 28 and into the first little bit of chapter 15. Here we see that the Bible supports an organized system for caring for the poor. God told His people to use their tithe every third year for those who were helpless, hungry, or poor. These regulations were designed to prevent the country from sinking under crushing poverty and oppression. It was everyone's responsibility to care for the poor. Families were to help other family members, and towns were to help members of their community. National laws protected the rights of the poor, but helping the poor was also an active part of religious life, for lack of a better term. The lesson here: God expects us to care for those in need, and we should use what God has given us to aid the less fortunate. Yes, we have government programs to aid those in need in our nation, but can you imagine the witness it would be if the church stepped up and met needs in such a way that government programs weren't even needed? What would it be like if the church became the go-to solution? God has done that through followers of Christ before, and I believe He could do it again. Peace be with you, friends.